And this was done in the mid-'80s to bring it up to DPH standards. The fix for this, and actually the fix was suggested by DPH, is to put pick-proof caulking compound and seal all the plexiglass in all 11 cells. We are also in violation because our vents up here are not suicide-proof. Or I should say maybe as suicide-proof as they can be. And they're going to be removed, and they're going to have the newest item put in to make it suicide-proof.
What's the newest item look like?
It's actually very similar, except I think the holes are smaller, and there's an inner mesh in there that prevents anything from being poked up through. What the inspector does when she comes is she takes a shoelace and she tries to find ways to hang herself in the cells. And that's notwithstanding the fact that we don't allow anybody in the cells with shoelaces. You can't account generally for every piece of string that they might be able to use, because obviously we put them in the cells in clothing. These are 1959 vintage cells, and that's the issue.
But how?
People don't cell block suicides. They don't always commit suicide by hanging themselves off of a pipe.
Yeah.
People will lay down and do it.
Okay.
Somebody that wants to kill themselves can be very inventive.
But to reiterate, you've never had a suicide in memory?
We have not, in my memory. There may have been one once in this cell block since 1959, but certainly not in the last 25 years. There are other things that, for example, toilets are no longer freestanding like this in cells. I think you probably, if you went over and saw the court cell, they're not freestanding anymore. There's skirts that go around them so you can't get underneath them. This is also antiquated. Benches are no longer just benches like this anymore. They're an integrated piece so that somebody can't get in underneath them. One of the problems we have sometimes is people will roll under there to sleep because obviously you can't turn off the light. So they'll actually roll under there to sleep.
And how would that be harmful?
You can't see what they're doing.
Well,
I can't see if they're breathing.
okay.
We monitor them with cameras. You gotta be able to see this stuff. This cell has a camera on the inside.
What's it like?
It's not coaxial cable. It's Cat 5. Again, I don't do this, so and I'm not really. But if you can, right? For example, if you can get it around like that, and you can do it. I have seen her do it. You can make a noose and hang yourself, and they will do that from any height.
Just sit down, right?
Just sit down. They will do it if they can get something low, and they will just sag their body until they asphyxiate. I think sometimes what's misunderstood is that if you're a school or you're a library, they can be put in almost any type of building, because for a school you just need a room to put desks in, and for a library you just need rooms to put shelves in to put books in. But police stations and fire stations are specific buildings, and they need to be purpose-made, and they need to be tailored for the function that they're used for. They're not just, we're not just empty space. We have specific needs, cells and sally ports and secure areas for evidence and things like that.